Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Riancho. Today is Thursday, December 4th, 3 p.m. Pacific time. We have a very exciting game tonight. The Detroit Lions are hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Who you going to start and who you going to sit? Not my best exhale of the live streams, but we'll get better. We'll get back to it once we finish the main broadcast. We will take another rip, but we're gonna first talk about some injuries, and then we'll talk about some very obvious start-sit decisions. So let me pull that up. Let me get the graphics up on the stream. We are first talking about, I believe, the Lions injury report. I believe the Lions injury report is the most important. Let me get that up here for y'all. Okay. A little small. Zoom in, shall we? Okay, so there's a lot of injuries for the Lions offense. Like, look at the players that are out. There's so many guys that are questionable. Most of them on the offensive line, and then some like backup playmakers that are unavailable. So that's a little too big. Here we go. Sorry, if you're joining me at the beginning, I'm a bit slow at the top. People trickle in, and then we'll get to the main start sits. But on the O-line, Taylor Decker at left tackle is questionable. So is the left guard, Awosika, and I believe he is the backup to Miles Frazier. Maybe Miles Frazier will come back this week. But center Glam Glasnow is questionable as well. So is right tackle Penei Sewell. All those players are questionable, banged up. I assume they'll play, but not ideal to not have them 100%. But the backup tight end, Brock Wright, is out. Sam Laporta is on IR, so that's why he's not listed, which means Ross Dwelly will get the start at tight end. But backup receiver Khalif Raymond is out, and the main reason why that's a huge deal is because Amon-Ra St. Brown is a game-time decision, and I do not believe he's going to play. Let me verify. I don't think we're close enough to kickoff to get the final update, but I do not think Amon-Ra is going to play. I believe he's still questionable as of this moment in time. So on the fly, let me pull that up. I don't think there's an update yet, but let me verify right now. Amon-Ra still less is questionable, but the projections have not given him any points yet. And as of this moment, at least ESPN does not have an update. I will do another Google search later on in the video, but at this moment in time, I do not think we know exactly what will happen on Amon-Ra. I do not believe he's going to play. He hasn't practiced at all this week. I do not think Amon-Ra will be active. So that means my favorite play this week is Isaac Tesla. I love Tesla. I'll get you my rank on Tesla, but I'm going to let you know right now. I think Isaac Tesla is a must start, assuming Amon-Ra does not play. I have Tesla in my top 26 receivers. I am all aboard the Tesla train. But otherwise, we do have some injuries on defense, I believe. And most of them are just players that have been out for a while. Like, we haven't seen Kirby Joseph in a long time. Kirby Joseph... Where's my rectangle? Here we go. Kirby Joseph. Maybe I should not have taken that pipe rip at the top of this. I apologize. But we got Kirby Joseph, free safety, out for this game. We got Brian Branch, questionable. And then I believe Terrion Arnold just went on season-ending IR, just had surgery today. They have a second-round pick, Enos Rakestraw, who's also on IR. He hasn't been available for quite some time. Their secondary is not too good. So the Lions not going to cover the pass too well. And I feel pretty confident in the Cowboys passing game. But let's also pull up the Cowboys injury report real quick. Try and go a little faster. Here we go. Cowboys depth chart. And other than their left tackle, Tyler Guyton, everyone's fine. There's nothing too crazy for the Cowboys. But a relevant player, not going to pretend like it's not important at all. It's the left tackle. So Aiden Hutchinson might actually tee off this game. I doubt it. I don't think it really ruins their offense, but it will be a factor. There may be a good pass rush from the Lions tonight. But otherwise, their defense, I believe, is mostly healthy. Yeah, everyone is kind of available. Malik Hooker, free safety, is questionable, but I think he'll be active. And then Clowney is questionable. I think he's coming back from an injury. I think he will play. I don't think he was available last week. So that's pretty much it. We know that Trayvon Diggs is on IR. They got some pieces out. And for the most part, it's kind of same old for Dallas. So that's it for the injury report. Now I can move on to our main start sits. And let me pull up our decisions for this game. I think, oh shit, that is fucking huge. There we go. Let's bring it in at a more appropriate level. Okay. The matchup is so good for quarterback all year against the Cowboys. It's also elite against Detroit. I think you have to be starting every offensive weapon in this game. I don't think you can pass on the available weapons. Like Jahmyr Gibbs is such a no-brainer. Let's not pretend like you're benching Jahmyr Gibbs. And I have adjusted this from yesterday's video. I have ranked them and positioned them in order of preference. So Gibbs, a lock. Dak Prescott, I have as a top 5 quarterback this week. There is no fucking chance I'm benching Dak Prescott. I'm also not going to bench Jared Goff at home. I know he might not have Amon-Ra, but this Cowboys matchup is fucking fire, and I don't think it matters. I'm trusting Jared Goff. Their season's on the line. If the Lions lose this game, they are essentially eliminated from the playoffs. There is no fucking chance I think the Lions make the playoffs if they lose this game. They would have to beat out the Cowboys for a wild card spot. I don't think the Niners are falling off. I think either the Rams or the Seahawks are going to win the division and also get the top wild card spot. So there's only one available, and right now it is going to the Packers. So they need somebody to fall off. They lost twice to the Packers. This game is huge, and if there is going to be someone that's out of the playoff picture that gets in, it would be the winner of this game in the wildcard spot. So Goff, I think, shows up. I believe in Goff tonight. I am not going to bet against Jared Goff. At home against Dallas, that feels like it's just going to hit no matter what. So I'm starting Jared Goff. I'll get you my exact ranking once I just run through all the bevy of players, but I'm telling you to start Goff tonight. Lamb, no-brainer, automatic start. J-Mo, automatic start with no Amon-Ra. Obviously, if Amon-Ra plays, he's an automatic start as well, but I don't think he is. I do not believe Amon-Ra will be available. So if he's not, J-Mo is going over 100 yards tonight. He's going to score a touchdown. He will get at least 10 targets. And against the Cowboys defense, the best receiver matchup on the season, who the fuck is benching J-Mo tonight? So automatic start. George Pickens has also earned automatic start status. Like, there's no fucking chance I'm benching any of these 3 receivers. Automatic starts tonight. But I will acknowledge I'm a little bit worried about Javonte tonight. This Lions matchup is not good. Let's not sugarcoat it. The Lions defense is a very tough spot on the year, but it has been getting a little easier, still very difficult. In the last 4 weeks, it's down to number 25 in terms of matchups. It's still bad, but it's not as difficult. But still, I just don't think I care. This game is going to be a massive shootout. And even if Javonte fumbles like twice, I would still expect a touchdown. I think fumbles is kind of the only way. This is not going to pay off. But yards, I'd be worried about. I might hit the under on rushing yards from Javonte. But as of late, the reason why the Lions aren't as difficult is because they're giving up a little more yards than typical. They were averaging like 60 per game for a while on the ground, and then now it's kind of up to 100 in the last month. So I think Javonte will be okay. It's not great, but I still think he's like a clear top 18, top 16 running back at the worst. And I'll give you my exact rank in just a minute. But Jake Ferguson, I think because of the state of tight end this week, reluctantly, I am telling you he's like clearly a top 10 play. Like based on name value, based on who he is, it would feel kind of strange to bench him. But I am a bit worried. This Lions matchup, if they can stop anyone other than running back, it is tight end. They rank 27th in terms of points allowed. So not my favorite play this week at tight end. I'd actually rather go like Kyle Pitts, to be honest with you. But that's just because Pitts has a great matchup. I still think Ferguson is top 10. So good luck with Ferguson tonight. I could see him be the odd man out. Like, you have to start every Cowboy, but if there's one I don't think scores a touchdown tonight, it's either Javonte or Ferguson, and I would be more inclined to bet Ferguson may not find the end zone. But I still think you have to start him. And personally, I am telling you vehemently, put Isaac Tesla in your lineup tonight. It's all contingent on Amon-Ra St. Brown. But if he's not going to play, there is just such a good spot here. I'm fully aboard the Isaac Tesla train. I picked him up in both leagues. I'm starting him on both rosters. And unless Amon-Ra is activated in the next 20 minutes, I don't think I'm taking him out. Even if he is, I still think Tesla is scoring a touchdown tonight. He may not give you more than like 30, 40 yards, but he only has 6 catches on the year, and he has 3 touchdowns in those 6 catches. He will get probably 8 targets tonight. I genuinely believe Tesla is going off. He ran an insane amount of routes last week. And if St. Brown is not going to play, Tesla is the man you want. 3rd round pick in the best matchup. This is the guy you need in your lineup. So I fully endorse him. Maybe it'll blow up in my face, but I don't think so. I really don't envision this not working out because there's just so many injuries in Detroit. We got Laporta out tonight. We got Brock Wright, his backup, also out. We got the legit 3rd string wide receiver also out. And then if Amon-Ra, the number 1, is out, like where the fuck else is the ball going to go? Goff is going to play well. The matchup's great. And Tesla is the man. Give me Isaac Tesla in the lineup tonight, scoring a touchdown. I think it's a lock. But we also have Dave Montgomery in not the best matchup. While the Cowboys are 14th on the year, if you rewind just a few weeks, they were like number 2, number 3. And they are actually the worst defensive matchup for running backs in the last month. But their matchups are not that impressive. I think it's all matchup driven. Despite the additions on their defense lately, I think most of it is matchups. They're just average. I don't think they're actually the toughest. So I expect the run game to be huge tonight. I'm not fading Gibbs at all. He's my RB1. And then Montgomery, I think, is a very, very high-end flex play. He's in my top 25 at running back. Not my top 20, but I think I'm starting David Montgomery tonight. I think he's one of the best flex plays you can get. But otherwise, I'm benching everyone. There is no fucking chance I'm starting a defense tonight. No effing way that'll happen. That feels like a negative waiting to happen. So no fucking chance on Dallas. Flournoy, I think it's too cute. It's a good matchup, but I only trust Lamb and Pickens. I also don't trust Malik Davis in this matchup. Hell no. Last week's touchdown, I think, was pretty random, kind of unrepeatable. Against Detroit, I wouldn't bet on it. Not a good matchup. For the Lions defense, they're too banged up in the secondary. They're not going to stop Dak. This is a shootout. Bench Detroit. They are giving you a negative. Ross Dwelly is potentially going to score a touchdown tonight, but will he get more than 10 yards? Probably not. I don't want to count on Ross Dwelly. I think tight end is deep enough. Let's avoid the 1 catch touchdown at tight end this week. But is it a decent prop bet? Not terrible. Raymond is not going to play. Neither is Laporta. Neither is Brock Wright. So that's why I love Isaac Tesla. But if there's a man who's going to really ruin this call, it's Tom Kennedy. Tom Kennedy actually had 4 targets last week. That was double of Tesla, but he ran fewer routes. He was on the field for less snaps, and I don't think I want to be putting my fantasy week invested in Tom Kennedy. Like, having a good game on Thursday can really catapult you to a clear win. It feels great. If you shit the bed, it feels awful, and I don't want to bet on Tom Kennedy. But in DFS, we might be drafting a team later, and we might have Tom Kennedy in the final round. But Kevontae Turpin would be my dark horse long shot for the Cowboys. He's a house call waiting to happen. It's been a while. He's mainly a special teams guy, but he's got speed, and the Lions don't have the secondary that scares me. I could see a 60-yard touchdown to Kevontae Turpin tonight. But am I going to bet on it? Fuck no. Give me Isaac Tesla all day above them. So that's it for the clear start sits. But let me show you my rankings before we move on. I will pin down my rankings. So if you have like specific decisions, we can, hammer it down. Let's talk running backs real quick, where these are tentative. Don't hold me to these entirely. I will give you my final running back rankings tomorrow and then obviously updated on Saturday. But at the moment, I feel like this is where I'm leaning. And if you have Jahmyr Gibbs, he is my RB1. With the Amon-Ra St. Brown injury, this is such a lock. No effing chance. I'm benching Gibbs. But Javonte still comes in my top 15. He is my running back 15 exactly, behind Swift and Monangai. I'd rather bet on the Bears run game this week, but I think he's better than Saquon. I don't like the Chargers matchup too much. I think Etienne still struggles on the goal line. And then Breece Hall in that offense, hard to trust either. I don't like the matchup for Judkins Genty, and Hunt. Not ideal. But then I have Dave Montgomery right behind them at 22. So Javonte is a clear RB2. Too much volume to bench. I like Javonte tonight. But I worry that he's not great. Normally I rank him like top 10. So Javonte, a little shaky in terms of like guaranteed lock. But I think he still scores a touchdown. Odds are it happens. And that's where I'm willing to bet on Montgomery. Montgomery doesn't catch many passes, but might be more of a receiving threat tonight if there's no St. Brown. And because Amon-Ra wasn't practicing at all, I know that the game plan will lean on the run. So I still don't fear Dallas enough. Quinnen Williams alone doesn't solve that run defense, but it's not a great matchup and it is pretty touchdown dependent. I could also see you get burned here if Gibbs just dominates too much. Like when Gibbs had that insane blow up the other week, Montgomery was kind of at the detriment. So Gibbs, I know for a fact I trust. Montgomery, one of the best flex plays, but I think he's on the same level as Kareem Hunt. You need a touchdown for this to hit. Without it, you may only get like 6, maybe 7.5 points at best. So good luck with Montgomery, but definitely in the flex territory. He's in my top 25. So I am telling you, start Montgomery as a flex play, but maybe of the depth where you don't have to. I would still go Javonte above Montgomery, but otherwise no other running back is playing in this game. So let me move on to wide receiver. And when it comes to receivers this week, everyone in this game is like such a no-brainer. There's no way I'm benching the obvious names, but let me pull this up. It's kind of a question of, are you willing to go Isaac Tesla? But CeeDee Lamb, obvious. I have him at number 4. Do you want him any higher? I mean, I guess I could maybe put him over Puka this week, but definitely not going down to tier 2. And then J-Mo, wide receiver 6. If Amon-Ra's not going to play, this is a lock, no-brainer. If Amon-Ra does play, I might drop him down to like, I don't know, maybe Rashee Rice, Nico Collins. I would still have him around top 12 at the worst. But with no Amon-Ra, he's number 6, and Pickens is right behind him. You're starting those top 3 receivers. The question is, do you trust me on Isaac Tesla? I have Tesla really fucking high this week. I am all in. I know not too many people have picked him up alongside me. Like, I thought his roster percentage would go way, way higher. But I know the volume's been so low. I understand. But I trust a touchdown tonight. I think you could get 2. And I think you're also going to get like 8 targets and 6 catches. I think Tesla will give you 50 yards and a touchdown tonight. I really trust Isaac Tesla. So he's my wide receiver 26, one of my favorite flex plays. And at that point, I'm basically telling you to start him. Just like Dave Montgomery, I think you should be starting both Tesla and Montgomery. But let's confirm one last time. Let me Google if Amon-Ra has actually been ruled out or not. Let me double check. Okay. Not expected to play. About 30 minutes ago. This was posted on inews.zoombang. Zoombang LA. I don't even know what the fuck this website is, but it looks reputable enough. There's a lot of football news. I've never seen this website before, but they're claiming Amon-Ra St. Brown is not expected to play. That's what I assumed, and everything I've read kind of points in that direction. So it hasn't been completely confirmed yet, but I do not think it will happen. So Isaac Tesla, I think, is the man. Isaac Tesla, I would start tonight, but that's where I'm like willing to lay my reputation on the line. I have him fucking high. I have him over Franklin. I have him over Myers, who went off last week, has 2 straight games with a touchdown. I have him over Jaden Higgins, who's my like fucking darling. I just trust this Cowboys matchup so much. I'm willing to start him over Keenan, QJ, Flowers, Debo, Roma Dunze, either of the Jets receivers, DK Metcalf, DJ. Like, I'm all in on Tesla tonight. I think you need to go Isaac Tesla. Maybe the blue is getting to me subconsciously where I just like have to love him. But I think he's going off tonight. I think a touchdown is like such a lock. I might be dead wrong, but I really trust Isaac Tesla tonight. So I've said that fucking 100 times. Let's move on. But at quarterback, I think we are starting both of them tonight. These are my quarterback rankings for the moment. At the moment, this is how I'm feeling about running back. And I got Dak at number 3. I think that Allen Burrow game is going to be lights out such a high scoring game. So they're my 1 and 2. But Dak and Goff, I have right behind them. This game is going to be so high scoring. I'm trusting Dak entirely. That Lions matchup is top 2 this season. And then I didn't adjust the name here. For a moment I had Stafford above Goff. So that's why it says Stafford below Goff. But I changed my opinion. I bumped up Goff. I think he's showing up tonight. No rushing value, but still I think Goff, even without Amon-Ra, is going off. I think he could have 4 touchdowns tonight. I really do. I'd hit the higher on like every projection. So unless you have Burrow and Allen, there's nobody I'd rather start than Goff and Dak Prescott. So start him tonight. I'm locking it in. And then last position to mention is tight end. I've already told you bench both defenses. So these are my tight end ranks at the moment. And I feel a little bit worried about the matchup for Jake Ferguson tonight. It is bottom 6 against Detroit this year. So Ferguson, I could see not score a touchdown. That's where I lowered him a little bit. But he's still in the top 10. He's my tight end number 9. And George Kittle is not available this week. Neither is Hunter Henry. And is there one other team I'm forgetting? Theo Johnson, also inactive this week, on bye. So Ferguson, I am lowering expectations, but I think because of those names unavailable, he still automatically cracks the top 10. Like, I'd rather go Andrews or Kelsey this week. I think the Bengals matchup, if Kincaid plays, you got to start him. And then Strange, I love his matchup. He's been on fire last 2 games. And then Pitts was great last week, also has an awesome matchup. So those are the only names I think you may rather start. I like the upside and safety net for Pitts, Strange, and Kincaid more. And then Kelsey, I think I trust a bit more. Andrews, I think, is more likely to score a touchdown. And then Ferguson is the last name that I think is like a no-brainer, must start. Beyond Ferguson, it's kind of tough to trust. Ertz, I think, is okay, but not that safe. And then everyone below Jake Ferguson, I think, is much less likely to find the end zone. So Ferguson at tight end 9, I would start, but not an automatic play. If you have Brenton Strange off the waiver wire, I would go Brenton Strange, 100%. That's my favorite plug and play this week, Brenton Strange, over Jake Ferguson. But that's it for all those start sits. Like I told you, you're not starting a defense. There is no effing chance you are starting the Cowboys or Lions defense this week. So one final reminder of all my start sits. Let me just pull it up. There we go. These are the names. Gibbs, Dak, Goff, locks in the lineup. Lamb, Jamo, and Pickens, locks in the lineup. Javonte, more of an RB2. Ferguson, a bit more of a low-end tight end 1, but I'm still starting them. And then Tesla, fire him up. I am telling you to start Tesla tonight. But Montgomery, I think, probably still scores a touchdown. Montgomery probably still contributes, but a little bit more risky. Amon-Ra, I do not believe, will be active. And everyone else you're benching, but maybe Tom Kennedy or Kevontae Turpin in DFS will pique your interest. Ross Dwelly also might score a touchdown, but I wouldn't put him in my lineup. That's for sure. So that's it for the start sits. Last thing is the final score prediction. What do I think happens tonight? I think it's kind of obvious. I'm expecting an absolute blowout. Massive shootout. Probably the game of the year, if you ask me. Both teams are fully rested. They get a week off. They both played on Thanksgiving. So Thursday night game, the rest equation is not the same this time. And I just trust that the Lions will show up. Their season's on the line. If they lose this game, it's pretty much a nail in the coffin. They will not make the playoffs. I think they win, and I don't think either defense shows up at all. So give me Detroit 40-37 tonight. I see a ton of touchdowns and so many fantasy points. I'm so excited to watch this game. So Lions, I think, will win. Y'all are in disagreement. At a 60% rate, y'all did take Dallas to win tonight. But that is only about half more of the people that think Detroit will win. Respectively, a 20% gap is like where it starts to get a little closer to even. It's less than 2-1, 60%. I disagree. I don't think it'll happen, but neither does Vegas. Vegas doesn't think the Cowboys are winning. The Lions are favored by 3.5 points. I would probably take the Cowboys against the spread. I think they'll cover 3.5, but I believe the Lions are not going to lose tonight. So I would take Lions money line, not the best number. The best number to bet is Dallas plus 3.5, but even Lions minus 3.5 is not that bad either. I wouldn't be afraid. Actually, I guess for the return on investment, the closest to even money is actually Lions minus 102. You are most likely to make $100 on Detroit minus 3.5. So maybe that's the side, but I think it's such a close game, very narrow line. Basically, what they're saying is this is a pick'em, and then the home field team gets that 3-point advantage. That's how I think Vegas is approaching this number. But would I hit the over or under? Absolutely smash the over. I'm projecting 77 points tonight. That's well above 55. So smash the over. I'm expecting so many touchdowns. It's going to be a fun game. But before I answer your questions, I appreciate everyone who's been patient. Right now, the poll is pretty close. Lions minus 3.5 is the side in the poll. I'll give y'all another like 10, 15 minutes before I close it, but I thought it might favor Dallas and the points coming in. I'm a bit surprised by y'all taking Lions at 55% to cover, but that's pretty much most of the video. If you're still with me though, and you're interested in maybe having some fun, we do have a promo code on Underdog this year. Promo code BLUNT gets you $100 in bonus funds when you play your first 5. But I will let you know, if you've seen me advertise this in the past, this deal is going to go away on Monday. This deal will no longer be live on Monday, December 8th. So this is the final weekend you can capitalize. You're still going to get some bonus funds with promo code BLUNT, but starting next week, you will only get $75 in bonus funds, not $100. So this is the weekend. If you want to get $100 in bonus funds, an extra 25 as opposed to starting next week, use promo code BLUNT on sign up. The link, I believe, is still in the description. It should be in the description. Promo code BLUNT on sign up, only available for new customers. So a bummer. I wish I had this code when I was signing up, but if you are still interested, how would you play that first 5? This is my recommendation. This is my lineup tonight. 5 picks. All 5 need to be correct in order to win. But if I do, the prize is a multiplier of 23.6%. I did use a 40% profit boost token, however. I did use a profit booster of 40%. So some of that will be bonus funds if I do hit. In general, though, I am expecting at least like $90 in my account of straight up cash. Payout 118 on $5. These are the picks I am hitting tonight. I belabored this point repetitively. I think Isaac Tesla will smash a touchdown. He has 6 catches this year. 3 of them are touchdowns. He's involved in the red zone. He will find pay dirt tonight. So that one, I think, is the crux of the entire lineup. I think the other 4 are kind of automatic. I think Lamb will score a touchdown. No doubt about it. I'm trusting Dak tonight. That Lions secondary is very injured. Lamb will go off. And then JMO, I think, will have a big house call. I wanted to hit the touchdown on JMO, but the multiplier is much more enticing for a 100-yard game on JMO. If you hit the touchdown, it's kind of just even money. If you hit 100+ yards, then you get an extra 25% in profit. So I'm feeling risky. I think JMO's going to have like a 40-yard reception. I think he will get like 10+ targets. I think JMO will have 100 yards pretty easily. So with no Amon-Ra, I think this is a very clear higher to hit. I think he will go over 100 as well. But Dak, I think, will also score a touchdown with George Pickens. This is where I may get screwed. Maybe there isn't a touchdown for both Cowboys receivers. But if this one hits, then I think the Brandon Aubrey projection is pretty much a lock. If I'm right on Lamb and Pickens, then that's already 2 of these extra points. I'm telling you there'll be an extra touchdown in this game. And odds are Lamb or Pickens probably have a second touchdown. More likely than not, that's what happens. So maybe it goes to Javonte. Maybe it's Dak running it himself, but it's probably Jake Ferguson or even Malik Davis might contribute. I also feel like Kevontae Turpin could have a special teams touchdown or like big touchdown as well. I think 3 extra points for Aubrey is automatic to hit. So the Pickens touchdown and Lamb touchdown, I think, will lead to that one working out. And then JMO, it's more likely he scores a touchdown rather than hits 100, but let's have some fun. Let's risk a little bit, and let's get an extra 25% on the profit. And then, in my opinion, it all comes down to this Isaac Tesla touchdown, which I just think is just such a fucking lock. Sorry. I did that close to the microphone. Hope it wasn't too loud, but If this doesn't hit, I'm going to be fucking livid. I think this one is such a guarantee. Maybe I'm crazy, but I really believe in it. So $5 entry, $118 payout, a profit boost of 40%, but a multiplier of 23 times on your initial buy-in. So for $5, sign me up. Over $100 tonight. I think this one is more likely than the average wager, and I would hit the higher on every hit, every projection tonight. But if you're wondering why I didn't set up like Dak Prescott or Jared Goff on this, or Gibbs as well, who I think are very high outcomes tonight, Underdog agrees. Underdog has very high projections on all of them, and all you need is one of these not to hit. So because I want to hit the higher on every projection they gave me, I felt like it was kind of unlikely those would all work out. So although I'm really trusting them, one thing going poorly I don't think will work out. So I'm going to avoid the quarterbacks. I would hit the higher though on all the quarterbacks, but similar to my logic on JMO, they also like neuter your payout. Like the payout on like Dak to throw 3 touchdowns is like 75%. Like you need to really hit the high end numbers to really make some money on the projections on Goff and Dak. So while I think it's possible Goff for like 300 yards is probably like the best return, I could also see with no Amon-Ra that just not hit and not work out. So I'm going to avoid those. These are the 5 I like, and I really love the Brandon Aubrey 3 extra points. That one I think is really a nice boost, kind of automatic. The other ones I feel very confident in. So good luck to you, and a reminder that promo code BLUNT does get you a little extra $100 in bonus funds. Play your first 5 with promo code BLUNT and get $100 in bonus funds. But thank you all for being very patient. I will now get to all y'all's... Whoops. Sometimes I'm not an expert with OBS. The streaming software, not my forte. I like to edit the videos, but it's very convenient to do the live streams. But let me check the poll again. Let me pull up the poll. Looks like it went up to 57% in favor of the Lions. So I'll leave that up a little bit longer, but let me get your comments on the screen here. Let me pull them up. Oh, I think I just accidentally hit end poll. My bad. That was an accident. But looks like it was starting to trend in favor of Detroit. Okay. Do I have it up? There we go. Bolt up, baby. Welcome in, Kobe. Nice to see you. The football garage, the fantasy football garage. What up, buddy? Welcome in. Nice to see you, man. Awesome to see you're here. Simon Thomas, pick 3, half PPR, McLaurin, Tesla, Pierce, or Hunt. Pick 3. The one we're benching here is going to be Kareem Hunt. I think it's going to be Kareem Hunt, but I would understand benching Tesla as well, but against Houston, I think I'm going to avoid the Texans defense. I definitely want the Cowboys matchup above the Texans Houston defense. So let's go trip wide receivers this week. I like McLaurin a lot, especially if Daniels plays, and then Alec Pierce I really trust in general, and then Tesla I think is an awesome start tonight. So I'm going to be benching Kareem Hunt. The 3 I want is Terry, Tesla, and Pierce in my lineup. But before I move on, I almost forgot. Fantasy Football Garage has a dope channel. If y'all are not on game, check out Fantasy Football Garage's channel. I am also a subscriber. He drops some dope content. We also got Jamie P-Rog in here. Jamie also has a channel as well. And I believe it's the Going for Two podcast. Fantasy Football Garage and Going for Two podcast with Jamie P-Rog. Those are separate channels, but check out both of them. Welcome in, Jamie. Bon appetit. I think tonight is like the most obvious, like hit the higher game of the season. I can't wait to feast tonight. But Key Joe, 1 in full PPR. You want Javonte or Etienne? I have Javonte ranked slightly above Travis Etienne. I don't like the matchup for Javonte tonight, but Etienne against the Colts not ideal. I haven't looked at the divisional stats for ETN, so that's where maybe I might be blindsided here. But I think I still trust Javonte a little bit more. The problem with ETN is that he doesn't punch it in on the goal line reliably enough. You can get burned by Tootin vulturing you. So that's where I'm going to go Javonte. Don't love the matchup, but I still trust his role in goal-to-go situations. Give me Javonte over ETN. KJ Frederick. My middle name is Frederick. Better rest of season quarterback to roster. JD5 or Purdy? Probably Jaden Daniels. Probably. It's pretty close. The injury bug for JD5 is not good, but we drafted him top 3 for a reason. As long as he's healthy enough with Terry active, I think I'd rather have JD5. But it's not like Purdy is not a top 10 quarterback rest season. I think at worst, Purdy is like number 12. And then Daniels, because of the injury, is not top 3 anymore. He's closer to like number 8. They're both in like that 6 to 12 range. That's where I would consider them, but I think I'd probably have Daniels slightly higher. Barely, though. Cole, praying for Amon-Ra to play. I don't think it'll happen, but I'll do one last Google search on it in like 15 minutes. I think we need another 15 minutes before the inactive lists are officially released. But the Hippo, tell me if I'm being crazy. Full PPR, do I start Tesla over Egbuka or Ladd? I also have Kenny Gainwell, Monangai, Godwin, Gadsden, or on bench as potential sub-ins for those 2 flex spots. But I think you can... Shit. I think I'm going to bench Ladd McConkey, bro. For Isaac Tesla, I might do it. Oh, look, I showed you my rankings earlier. I'll pull them up again. But I do have Ladd ranked above Tesla. So am I saying to do it? No, but like, it's just so much fun, man. Like, okay, in both of my leagues, my playoff spot is locked up. In one of them, I'm playing someone for a bye, and I'm still starting Tesla. In the other one, everything is kind of set up where I can't get the bye, I can't get eliminated, so this week kind of doesn't matter. So I'm playing with house money. So I'm much more confident than I normally am to start Tesla. But like, the randomness of the Chargers is risky, bro. Like, you can't guarantee that you're going to get Ladd to pay off. So I understand, man. I really understand. These are my rankings. Let me zoom out. I have Ladd at 17. So I'm not saying to do this, but like, the upside on Tesla is just so fucking massive. And I think his floor is going to be 8 points. Like, even if he has one reception, it's going to be like a 20-yard touchdown. Watch that shit happen. Tesla is scoring a touchdown tonight. But again, I'm playing with house money. I'm more confident than normal. So you are a little bit crazy to even question this, but I also have Egbuka on a team. Egbuka kind of scares me right now, man. I kind of want to get it out of my system, but these are my rankings. I'm not recommending you do that, but I understand it. I understand the question. You also have Kenny Gainwell, Monangai, Godwin, Gadsden on the bench. I think you should start Monangai. I think you should start Monangai over Tesla. However, are you crazy to bench Egbuka or Ladd? You're probably crazy to bench Egbuka, but not Ladd. If you want to start Tesla over Ladd, I don't think it's insane because the Chargers are just so random. But I would still say Ladd is the correct play. Good luck, man. This is a fun question. I love this question. Rajan, what's up, man? Welcome in. John Jersey says, start Bo Nix at Raiders or Jacoby Brissett versus the Rams. I prefer Brissett this week. It's close, but I have Brissett in the top 10. I have Bo Nix at number 12. I'm going to go Brissett, but it is very, very close. Yeah, I agree with this, Mark Twain. Brissett has the higher floor. Pretty guaranteed to get 20 points with Brissett. Johnny Jersey says start 2 half PPR. T. Higgins, Addison, Devin Neal, or DJ Moore. 100% T. Higgins is in the lineup. Question is, are we going Addison over DJ Moore? I think we are not going to do that. I think we're going to go DJ Moore over Addison, but it's very, very close. That's a toss-up. That's personal preference. But are we going Devin Neal over either of them? Yeah. If you want 8 points, give me Devin Neal. If you want a shot at 14, give me Addison. If you want just a reliable 6, give me DJ Moore. I could also see Devin Neal shit the bed. So Highest upside, give me Addison. Probably more realistically speaking, I'm going to go Devin Neal because of all the volume. I think Devin Neal's probably the safest play. DJ Moore probably doesn't feel worth it. So I think it's going to be between Devin Neal and Addison. Give me Addison for the upside, but it feels so gross. Good luck there. Shane Miner, blunt rotation member. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Adam, out of these three receivers, what two would you start? Adams, Pickens, or Igbuka? Thank you. You're 11-2 this year. A lot because your channel. No joke. Subscribe, people. I mean, first person testimony, 11-2. A round of applause. Definitely deserved. I'm going to be benching Igbuka this week. Definitely start Adams and Pickens. Igbuka scares me just a little bit. These are the receiver ranks. I have Adams at 5. I have Pickens at 7. I have Igbuka at 12. Give me Igbuka on the bench. He's the one I would bench out of those three. But Chayam, I need a boom in the flex this week. Am I crazy to start Isaac Tesla tonight over Travis Etienne in full PPR? I don't think so, man. I fucking do it. Look, if any of you ask me a question on Tesla tonight, I think I'm just going to automatically say Tesla. I think at this point, I'm going full Tesla. We got 5 more minutes before we know if Amon-Ra is inactive this week. But I would go, I think I'd go Isaac Tesla. In a full PPR, give me Tesla. Aaron Bortel, love your shit, man. Thanks. I'm in Goff or Burrow this week. I have Goff 2 spots higher, but if Amon-Ra was gonna play, then I'd go Goff. But I'm gonna go Burrow. Because Amon-Ra's inactive, I'm gonna go Burrow. But I could see an awesome game from Burrow tonight. But yo, Dev is in here. I was thinking about you multiple times the last couple of days because you and I had this conversation back in the summer. I was a Torrey Horton drafter in round 18, and you talked me into taking Tesla at a decent rate. I'm so glad I have a little bit of Tesla. I don't think I have like an insane amount of Tesla. I think I saw in the comments some of y'all saying you have like 15% Isaac Tesla. But he's going to go off tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it. And if St. Brown misses any more time, even if he doesn't, I think Tesla could be huge down the stretch. I love his upside down the stretch. So for best ball up to this point, that Torrey Horton call looked correct. But now Horton's on IR. And if you can give me one for the fantasy playoffs, give me Isaac Tesla for sure. So I'm glad I have a little bit of both. But dude, good call. Dev has been on Tesla for months now. Dev has loved Tesla since the draft. The Hippo, also for the question about potentially starting Tesla, I already have the 1 seed locked up. Then 100%, bro. Go Isaac Tesla. Football Garage has 15% Tesla. Yo, y'all are on game. Y'all know what you're talking about. Tesla's going off tonight. Gonna be so much fun. I need to choose between Strange and Ferguson and then Javonte and Kyron, asks Julio Ramirez. Between Strange and Ferguson and then Javonte and Kyron. We are going Kyron and Strange. I don't love the matchup against Detroit for Javonte or Ferguson as much as I like it for Kyron. Kyron, I think, is going off. The Cardinals can't stop the run. Kyron will be dominant this week. Strange, I think, is on a heater. And I also think his matchup is, I believe, top 7. Either top 8 or top 7. Strange is my play at tight end. I think that's the move. And then Kyron, I have in the top 10. Javonte, I have outside the top 15. Give me Kyron over Javonte and Strange over Ferguson. But Mark Twain says, what would you prefer rest season, Gadsden, Waller, or Kincaid? Ooh. I would want a combo of the two. I think the player they're all like hard to trust week to week, but I think in good matchups, the highest upside is Kincaid. Like this week, I'm going to go Kincaid if active. But Gadsden's starting to scare me a little bit. I think he's pretty matchup dependent, and that offense is so crowded. Meanwhile, Waller, I think, is really a lock in that system to play pretty well. I think I like Kincaid the most. But honestly, I would want to have all three and just play the matchups. I would want to have at least Kincaid. And actually, Kincaid might be the riskiest one to roster because of his injury risk. Like this week, I want Kincaid the most because it's against Cincinnati. But down the stretch, you could argue that Gadsden and Waller are definitely better. Um, that's a really tough question, man. I think it's really close, and they're all in the same tier. But I think at the moment I might favor Waller because I think touchdowns move the needle most at tight end. And I think that's the safest bet with Waller. But it's so close, bro. It's so fucking close. I don't think I want to drop any of them. This week I want to play Kincaid. Julio Ramirez says Diggs look like Ibuka. They do kind of look a bit similar in the pictures, if I'm not mistaken. They got kind of similar hair, but their jerseys are so much different. You can't confuse the two. Best ball on call. Yo, welcome in, Anthony. Tesla has to see some volume. No Laporta, Raymond, or ARSB. Also, check out Best Ball on Call's channel as well. Long-time viewer, got some content as well. Give him a shout out. But yeah, this has to hit tonight. If this does not hit, it's the most disappointing outcome. It feels so obvious, and it has to work out. But Garage with saying, imagine Tesla getting more than 3 targets and more than 2 in the red zone. I could see a hat trick tonight. I genuinely think he might score 2 touchdowns. I think he's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for Tesla tonight. But you picked Detroit. I think they win. I don't know if they cover. That game's gonna be so close. Julio Ramirez has been worried about Kyron with the committee backfield and injury. He was limited at practice yesterday. I know last week was like good for Corum, but Corum didn't have like an insane bump in production. I still trust Kyron to get enough volume to pay off. I still think he's going to score a touchdown. Against Arizona, it's a good matchup. I like Kyron a decent amount. But Javonte, I understand, also still starting. Like, I don't want to be benching Javonte, but you're asking me straight up between the two. I do prefer Kyron this week. But Rajan says, which quarterback do you think is better rest season? Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, or Darnold? I know in the fantasy championship week 17, Purdy plays Detroit. So that probably really helps you. Darnold absolutely shit the bed last week. So the answer is not Darnold. Question is, will Jordan Love continue his Toyotathon run all season? That I'm a bit unsure about. Some of his matchups are tough. I think I'm going to say Brock Purdy. But I could see Jordan Love being more valuable. I think it's pretty close, especially with Purdy on bye this week. That probably gives the edge to Love. But starting next week, I'd rather have Purdy for the fantasy playoffs because of that Lions matchup in week 17, as opposed to the Ravens matchup for Jordan Love. I don't remember who Darnold plays. It might be like Arizona or something. But no matchup's going to be better than Purdy at home against Detroit in prime time. I think it's a Monday night game. Purdy's going to be a league winner in week 17. So I would not drop him. But this week, obviously, you're starting Jordan Love over Brock Purdy. Mark Twain says, I've been stashing Corum all season for news like that. Julio, LOL. I think Corum will be good, but I just don't think he's going to get more than like 12 touches per game. That's my only concern on Corum. But there's been enough time. It's time for me to update the Google search on Amon-Ra. The final inactive would have probably came in at this point. I am on Twitter. First thing I see is a GIF of from Narcos of Pablo Escobar, the actor that plays Pablo Escobar, just patiently waiting for Amon-Ra status tonight. That is clearly me. Did it come in? Damn it. I'm just seeing a bunch of GIFs. They're literally me just like staring at the fucking screen. Questioning. I doubt it. Also, I should probably catch up with the chat. Y'all probably have the answer, probably telling me. Nope, status still undetermined. Fuck. Give me the answer, damn it. Do any of you have the answer? If any of y'all know, drop it in the chat. Kijo says not inactive. I don't think he's going to play, but St. Brown is active. Shit. All my Tesla fucking hype. I still think Tesla's going off. I still think Tesla's going to be scoring a touchdown tonight. I'm still a believer. But what the fuck? Really? I haven't seen it. Until I literally see it with my own eyes. Okay, came in 6 minutes ago from Schefter. Yep. Okay. Lions receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, who did not practice this week due to an ankle sprain, officially is active tonight versus the Cowboys, to the surprise and relief of his team. Officially active with Amon-Ra. Damn it. That's awesome. I think he's still more of a decoy. I still think Tesla's going to score a touchdown. if Actually, now start Goff over Burrow. Goff, I think, moves up to quarterback too. Goff, I think, is the best play. If St. Brown's available, start Goff, even with more confidence. Got to start Goff at the moment. Okay. All right. Well, St. Brown's going to play, but I still like the touchdown on Tesla. I'm glad I didn't hit the higher on the yardage projection on Tesla, but I still think Tesla is going to find a touchdown tonight. I'm still a believer, but let me try and catch up in the comments quickly. Let me try and go fast now. But Mark Twain says, prayers, boys. I'm playing against Pickens, Williams, Ferguson, Dak, and Aubrey tonight. Oh, boy. Good luck, man. That's a gauntlet. But Steve Valdez says Tesla to the moon. I still think he scores a touchdown. But Tesla finally gets his chance. Might shock the world. Then you don't put the toothpaste back in. I know. I think he could really be awesome down the stretch. But if Amon-Ra's going to play, it's just a little trickier. But Country Boy Jazz says 12-man PPR, start who? 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex. We have Purdy versus Mahomes. Purdy is on bye, my friend. So Mahomes is in the lineup this week. Running back is Christian McCaffrey, also on bye. Jones, Walker, Benson, Rodriguez. I think we're going Walker and Aaron Jones for the 2 running backs. Receiver, we need 2. We got Olave, Diggs, Pierce, Jennings, Terry, and Godwin. Jennings on bye. I think we're going Olave and Alec Pierce. Actually, no, we're going Terry and Olave. Terry and Olave. You need 1 flex option and 1 tight end. At tight end, we're going to go Waller. Yeah, I'm going to go Waller at tight end. And then for the flex, we're looking at either Pierce or Benson. In full PPR, I believe I'm going to go Alec Pierce. Trey Benson may not even play against the Rams. Not a great matchup. Rodriguez does not catch passes, could score a touchdown, but if I'm going to bet on a touchdown, give me Alec Pierce to do that. So yeah, that's the lineup I would go this week. Mahomes at quarterback, Aaron Jones and Kenneth Walker at running back. Receiver, give me Terry McLaurin and Chris Olave. At tight end, give me Darren Waller. And then at flex, give me Alec Pierce. On defense, Rams or Bucks, we're going to go Tampa Bay hosting New Orleans. Good luck, country boy. Good luck this week. But Ricky B, what's up, brother? Welcome in. Best Ball on Call will also vouch for FFB Garage. Garage got some good content. I'd recommend the FFB Garage. But no Ari Vera. Please help pick 1 receiver, 1 flex. Egbuka, McLaurin, Tesla, full PPR. We're going Egbuka and McLaurin now that we have news that Amon-Ra's going to play. We're going to bench Isaac Tesla. But Twisted Folks says drop more and pick up Tesla. Moore. DJ Moore? Tonight, maybe. Probably not, because the rest of the season probably doesn't work out, but maybe. If St. Brown wasn't going to play, then I would say 100% yes. But if St. Brown's going to play, I don't think that's worth your time anymore. Sadly, I don't think I would do that. Unless Tesla is already on your roster, I don't think I would move to pick him up. Also, Mason or Hampton, full PPR. We're going to go O'Marion Hampton. 100% we're going O'Marion Hampton. Not even a question, O'Marion Hampton. Best ball on call says Amon-Ra running routes look decent pregame. Might play sleeper notification. Yeah, looks like he is active. Julio Ramirez, I watch your channel too. I'm 7-6, so I'm not going to pretend like I hit 100% of the time. There is no such thing as batting 1,000 in fantasy football, but I'm at least happy we're above 500. If we can get to 8-6, odds are that's a playoff team. So I'm rooting for you this week. Let's get you that win, the final win of the season to get in the playoff picture. But looks like Amon-Ra is playing. Just put Tesla above Chase and Puka at the. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't? Fire Bro says who we sitting? AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Michael Wilson, or Christian Watson. I believe I'm going to be benching. I'm leaning Christian Watson, but let me just check the ranks real quick. Don't think I can bench AJ Brown or Nico. And then I don't think Harrison will play this week. So I'm going to go Michael Wilson. If Harrison plays, then bench Michael Wilson. But if he doesn't, that's what I think will happen. Bench Christian Watson against the Bears. Also, pick one, Bam Knight, Devin Neal, or Monungai. Oh, 100% Monungai. Absolutely, go Kyle Monungai. That is a no-brainer in my opinion. Between those three, Kyle Monungai all day. Also, go Bolts. Let's fucking go, baby. Bolt up. For real. Run up the likes. Yeah, where are we at on the likes? We got 23 likes, 38 viewers. I appreciate y'all. If you've dropped a like, if you've subscribed, thank you very much. But Bruce, Leroy, how are we feeling about Lamar? Need to win. I could pick T-Law, Stroud, or Darnold. Also, flex Devontae, Pittman, T. Higgins, Vidal, Hampton, or Ken Walker. Full PPR, okay? In regards to Lamar, I'm not feeling it. Not against the Steelers this week. They have his number. Lamar sucks, even when he's not in a slump against the Steelers. Lamar is a must bench this week. I have him at quarterback 19 in the ranks. I have him above Tyrod and McCarthy, but otherwise, I think anyone you're typically starting, I'd rather go. So Trevor Lawrence, I do have ranked higher than Lamar, but I have Stroud ranked higher than both of them. And then I also have Stroud above Darnold this week. Give me Stroud. The matchup against Kansas City is looking pretty good right now, and I don't trust them to stop that offense. I think Jaden Higgins will play well. Even if Nico's limited, I like Stroud the most. But I could see Lawrence play lights out. I could also see Darnold bounce back. Last week was so bad, though. I don't think I can trust him. I think I'm going to go Stroud. The yardage for Stroud has been there, and I think the touchdowns, I think at least one or not, if not two. I think he'll have 2 touchdowns this week. I would go Stroud. That's my preference at quarterback. But you also have a flex question. Devontae, Pittman, T. Higgins, Vidal, Hampton, or Ken Walker. Only one? If we only have one, we're going to go O'Marion Hampton, I think. But I think in full PPR, it's likely I might go T. Higgins. It's between T. Higgins and Hampton. We have some good options. I like Walker this week, but not more than Hampton. I like Vidal if Hampton doesn't play, but Hampton I think will crush. I think Vidal plays well, but the Eagles are not going to have Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is going to miss on Monday. That's what it's looking like. So I like Hampton a lot. I think he'll play, and you have Vidal as the handcuff. So I'd be willing to bench T. Higgins, knowing that I'm getting the Chargers running back as the starter. But my preference right now is to go Hampton. I would understand, because it's full PPR, going T. Higgins, though. That game is going to be a shootout against the Bills. But I know that Hampton will be involved. The Eagles can't stop the run right now, and without Carter, they will give up a lot of yards. Hampton also catches a lot of passes. Hampton might have like 5 receptions as well. So I like Hampton the most. But A lot of bias to keep in mind. Maybe T. Higgins is the safer play. David Rolex says, half PPR need 2. Javonte tonight. Judkins versus Titans. Chase Brown at Buffalo. P.S. Thanks, you rock. Thanks, man. Javonte tonight, Judkins or Chase Brown. We are going Chase Brown 100%. But you need 2.5 PPR. I do have Javonte above Judkins this week. The matchup is actually trending poorly against the Titans. Lately, the Titans are actually a very tough matchup for running backs. Last 4 games, the Titans rank bottom 5 in terms of running back fantasy points allowed. Judkins, not as safe as you might think. He's playing in the snow, though. So that's where I might be wrong. He might just get like 25 touches and it doesn't matter. But I'm going Chase Brown for sure. And then I think I'm inclined enough to bet on the shootout tonight. I'm going to go Javonte over Judkins. I think I trust the Cowboys more than the Browns. So I'm going to go Javonte. But I could see Judkins still play better. But I'm going to go Javonte. Chase Brown, though, a lock in the lineup this week. Automatic start on Chase Brown. Best Ball on Call says Jeremy Fowler said ARSB gave him a thumbs up, so he'll probably play. Yes. All y'all letting me know. I knew I should have scrolled down. Here's the thing. I scrolled down and I went too far. I went all the way down and then I missed this chunk in the middle that was all screaming at me. So thank y'all for the update. I apologize there. I'm so far behind. Fuck. Okay. I agree with this take, David. I'm a little bit afraid of that. So, like, am I starting Amon-Ra? You have to. You have to start Amon-Ra. Maybe I should adjust my receiver rankings here on the fly. Maybe I should let you know how I'm approaching it. Okay. Now that we know that, it does change things. Where the fuck? Shit. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Where would I rank Amon-Ra? I would probably have him around Rashee Rice and Nico Collins. Like Rashee against Derek Stingley and the Texans, that's not great. Nico against the Chiefs and Trent McDuffie, that's also not great. But you can't bench him. So Amon-Ra would be in the same category. Amon-Ra would like be right above Egbuka, somewhere around there. Oh, right. It says Diggs below Egbuka. But Egbuka would be around Amon-Ra right here. I think I'd still rather go J-Mo tonight than Amon-Ra. But where would Tesla rank? I think I would drop Tesla to like John Mechie, Greg Dortch status. I think Tesla drops down here. Very risky flyer now that St. Brown's going to play. So disregard this rank on Tesla. Drop him down to Dortch and Mechie around wide receiver 40, 41 on Isaac Tesla. So bummer. I know. Very sad that St. Brown's going to play for Tesla shares. But I still think Amon-Ra could be a decoy. I don't think that take is outrageous to be making. But Mark Twain says currently have Gadsden. Kincaid just got dropped and Waller is available right now. We'll stash 2, just not sure which 2. Yeah, those are all good. Like if Kincaid plays this week, I think he's the best play of the 3. If he's active, if he's healthy against the Bengals, you want Kincaid. But I would want all 3 to be honest. But David says if you have other good options, I would play them over Amon-Ra, to be honest. Plenty of times the receiver came back just to be a decoy. I do think that's definitely factoring in. And yeah, we could all use some of those recovery boosts, that's for sure. But Damage says, do I still start J-Mo as flex since Amon-Ra's back? Yes, 100%. Start J-Mo. Do I just hope London play in the flex instead? No, there's a chance that London still doesn't play. Go J-Mo. This matchup against Dallas is so good. Start J-Mo no matter what. I still think J-Mo will go over 100 yards. I still believe that. Yeah, I agree with Best Ball on Call here. Still play J-Mo no matter what. I feel like the Lions are going to get boat raced. I don't know how they are favored because their season is on the line. If they lose, it's over. And Dan Campbell does not lose 2 in a row. I think Vegas is onto something. I understand the line. I believe the Lions will win. But I understand not understanding why they're favored. I hope because Amon-Ra can't be 100%, David says London on the wrong side of questionable. Yeah, I have London on one of my teams. I don't feel confident he's going to be active. I think he'll play against Tampa next week, but this week I don't feel great about it. Also against Seattle, not the best matchup you could find. I don't think I would bench JMO for London this week, but Damage says, damn, maybe in regards to Amon-Ra. Tim Land, love the channel. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you, Pikachu. Damage says, I also have Pittman or Sutton I can play. No, go JMO over them. I still would go JMO. Still would go JMO. Twisted Folks says, I've got Herbert and T-Law, but Love is on the wire. Considering dropping Herbert to pick up Love and play him this week and then alternate between Love and T-Law rest of season. Herbert has some tough matchups at times, like the Texans in the championship week 17. That sucks. But against Dallas the week before that, that's going to be lights out. And even the Chiefs matchup is not bad. So I don't know if I would drop Herbert for Lawrence. Lawrence isn't like my favorite play, but I understand it because of the injury concern. But here's the thing. If Love is on the wire, I would drop Lawrence for Love. Love and Toyotathon. I know it sounds insane, but look it up. The Toyotathon stats for Love are crazy. It is currently Toyotathon. And he even tweeted it. He literally tweeted a picture of himself in front of like a Toyota Tundra because his fucking Toyotathon stats are insane. And maybe it's just like marketing and like, I don't understand why, but I'm not going to question it. Give me Love and Toyotathon over Trevor Lawrence this week. But yes, Amon-Ra is active. Damage Pittman says, Damage asks, Pittman, JMO, or Sutton at flex? Give me JMO still. I'm still going JMO. Trust in Shefty. David says Amon-Ra, definitely a decoy. That seems to be what y'all think. I don't think he's going to get less than 4 targets, but I don't think he gets more than 5 catches, you know? I could definitely see the first play of the game being right to him and then only like 3 other targets rest of the week, rest of the game. Yeah, I think this is possible, David. Definitely possible. Jose says Dicker or McPherson rest of the season. I think Cameron Dicker. But it's very close. Bias, keep that in mind. Kickers is so random. If you don't have Aubrey, then there's like 5 that I would want, and these are 2 of them. So whichever one you prefer. I think I might go Dicker, though. Jose says, today we will see if they are truly committed to the new Tesla player. I believe he's getting a touchdown. May not get more than 3 targets, but I think one of them will be a touchdown. You are playing against Goff. Good luck, bro. Good luck on that. That, I think, is going to be tough to beat this week. But you're starting Tesla over Ladd. Fuck it. I mean, I think I told you to do this before we know Amon-Ra was going to play. But good luck, man. If you're actually going to do that, good luck. But should I start Tesla or Godwin? I really wish we knew for a fact that Amon-Ra would be a decoy, because if that was the case, I'd totally go Tesla. But I think I'm going to go Godwin. The volume last week was good for Godwin. He looked pretty healthy. He looked okay. I think I would go Godwin against the Saints. David would agree with you. But Noah Rivera, McLaurin, Egbuka, or Tesla, full PPR, 1 receiver, 1 flex. Also Mason or Hampton. At running back, you're going Hampton. And then the receiver we're starting is Egbuka. But I could see McLaurin be on fire. If you have your playoff spot locked up, I'd go McLaurin. But I think I might go Egbuka. Not Tesla, Egbuka. Don't hold me to that, though. My rankings will come out in the next 36 hours. Late on Friday. Godwin is looking better. Now that he's healthy, I think he's more appealing. But I'd like to see it one more week. But against Tesla, I don't think I would do it. I'd go Godwin. Aaron Jones, 2 limited practices. I understand, but at his age, as long as it's a DMP, that's the only way I would assume he misses. If he's limited, I'm not worried about Aaron Jones missing time. Damage says Pittman, JMO, or Sutton at flex. We are going JMO. We're still believing in JMO. Witty, don't you quit yet? We're going JMO as well. Tempting to trust Michael Wilson if Harrison won't play, but I'm going to still go Jamison Williams. I'm Gigantor, Monty, or Godwin. Dallas Run D is great lately. Fuck. That's a good question. I'm going to go Montgomery. I think a touchdown's more likely for Montgomery. And I still think you get like at least 50 yards. I believe so. I think I would go Montgomery over Godwin. But it is like really up in the air with Amon-Ra active tonight. But I think I just trust the shootout environment more. Meanwhile, against the Saints, like if they get to an early lead and it doesn't involve a touchdown for Godwin, why force it down the stretch given his injury situation this season? Like Godwin, I could see disappear in the second half just because of game script. But Monty, I don't think will go away. Even in a bad matchup, I still think Montgomery scores a touchdown. Give me Montgomery, but it is very close. If it's full PPR, I'd probably go Godwin. But in half PPR, I'd go Monty. JMO or Michael Wilson? We said JMO. Jamie, Ben Solom says Amon-Ra is a must start, right? I think you have to. Like, sadly, I think you have to. It's very risky though. Like we're talking about him being a decoy candidate. It's very risky. I think you have to though. I don't think I can bench him. He's like Rashi Rice against Stingley this week. You have to. You just have to. Twisted Folks says, as always, thanks for your feedback and analysis. Some of my comments didn't age well due to the Tesla news. Rams or Jags defense this week? I'm leaning Jaguars, but I don't think either are very safe. I think if you're willing to like just play the wire this week instead of stash them for later, I might look to the wire, but I would probably lean Jaguars just barely. But I could see the Rams also dominate. They're interesting. Same tier, but I think I'm leaning Jaguars just barely. There we go. Witty, don't you quit yet? JMO or Michael? Yo, how many times are you dropping this, bro? Holy shit. There's a lot of them. Final answer is JMO. Yeah, sadly, I agree with this take, Gigantor. I would like to. It feels very risky, but I don't think I can. Foreign Barber, should I drop Gadsden for Michael Wilson? I have Brenton Strange and Darren Waller as my tight end. Yes, I'd be fine to do that. This week, I think Michael Wilson's such a better start. And if you have Strange, I don't think he's that much different than Gadsden. I have Waller in the same tier. Like, here's the thing about tight end. If you don't have the top three, if you don't have McBride, Kittle, or Bowers, then the only other one I think is like a lock in your lineup every week is Tyler Warren. And then everyone else is kind of like playing the matchups. Kelsey kind of stays in your lineup all the time. But even that, I kind of feel is sometimes like not that fun. Same with Ferguson and like Andrews. Like you kind of have to start him. But they're not that much different, to be honest, than some of these players you just mentioned here. And like guys like Theo Johnson or Hunter Henry also in this mix. Like there's just a massive tier of like tight end 7 through 17. And so it's just a mix and match every week. But based on like where I know the ball's going to go in LA, I don't trust Gadsden as much. Like I was never that convinced that Gadsden would be like a lock in the top 6 every week. Those few games where he was awesome were like great, but I don't know. Gadsden, I'd be willing to drop just to play Michael Wilson this week. Yeah, I think I would do that. I have Strange ranked higher. I have Darren Waller ranked higher this week. So Gadsden, I think, is the least valuable of the 3. But just this week, like I might completely change my tune next week, given the matchup against Kansas City. I could see Gadsden play very well. Also against the Cowboys the week after. So it's all relative. Like it's It's all about matchups at tight end. But Jamie, you're welcome. Woody, we're going to skip all these spam texts. But Foreign Barber, I have to win this week or I'm out. Good luck, bro. I believe that's the case for everyone. I believe if you're not in week 14, it's all win or go home, unless you play in week 18 in one of those playoff formats. But odds are this is the last week to make it happen. But Xavier Worthy, yo, we got a chief in the house. Fastest man in the NFL. Yes, Amon-Ra is healthy enough to play. He is active tonight. But Damage says Pittman, JMO, or Sutton at flex. We are going JMO. You've also spammed the fucking chat. Time for a smoke break? I agree. With all these spam messages. I agree. Cheers, Jamie. Bruce, you're welcome, buddy. Cheeto Soba, RJ Harvey, JMO, or Zay Flowers? We're benching Flowers. Are we going JMO or Harvey? Fuck. That's a very good question. I think I'm going to go Jamison Williams. I still trust JMO with my life tonight, which feels insane, but his matchup is just so good against Dallas. I'm going to go Jamison Williams. If RJ Harvey didn't score 2 touchdowns last week, he would not have been as productive as his fantasy stats would have suggested. So I'm not going to bet on 2 touchdowns for RJ Harvey. I'm betting on 100 yards for JMO tonight, and I am betting on a touchdown for both. Give me JMO, but it is so effing close. I could see myself being wrong, but I think both give you at least like 18 points this week. Do you still start Tesla if Amon-Ra is active? You got to let me know your other options. He is a much lower end flex play now that Amon-Ra is active. Like, let me show you this. I would swap Tesla and Amon-Ra in their respective spots. Like, I have Amon-Ra in the reluctant spot. And honestly, he doesn't really change from coming out of there because there's a chance he totally burns you. But Tesla, I just don't think is as safe. I just think you're betting on a touchdown. But I'm going to do it in mine. I'm going to say fuck it. I'm going to do it in both mine. But one of them I have nothing to play for. I'm not getting the bye, and I'm also not getting eliminated. I've already clinched. So this week means nothing. That's why I'm bold enough to go Tesla. But I think he's still a legit flex play. I would not go Tesla over Amon-Ra, though. I wouldn't do that. Bam Knight or Tesla, full PPR? I think Trey Benson comes back. So here I would go Tesla. I think a touchdown's more likely for Tesla. Mark Twain says Waller got sniped as we were talking about it. Just claimed Kincaid and hoping for the best. Honestly, this week, I think you're getting the better player. As long as Kincaid plays against Cincy, that's the best matchup. I love Kincaid this week. I think you have to start Kincaid against the Bengals. But it's just a question of if he's healthy or not. Sounds by Mega, Hurts or Stafford. The Chargers matchup is terrible. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts this week. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. Oh, no. I didn't mean to say that. I apologize. I'm going to go Stafford. Let me prove it. I'm going to go Stafford. These are my quarterback rankings, and I have Stafford at 5. I have Hurts at 6. It's super close, but I got them back to back. I have Stafford above Jalen Hurts. Just barely. Mark Twain, you take it easy as well, my man. You're welcome. But Kate, good luck to everyone. You too. Cody says, should I play Ferguson in my flex if Javonte is my running back, or should I just play Strange or A.D. Mitchell instead? I don't think starting Javonte impacts Ferguson at all. It's just like, what do I think about Ferguson in the flex versus Strange or A.D. Mitchell? For upside, I like A.D. Mitchell a lot this week, but I don't think he's as safe as Strange. I like the matchup for Brenton Strange a lot more than Ferguson. In my tight end rankings, I'll show you them right now. I might change them tomorrow, but at the moment, I do have Strange above Jake Ferguson. These are my tight end ranks. Whoa, a little big. I have Strange at number 5. I have Ferguson at number 9. I would go Brenton Strange this week over Jake Ferguson. But would I go Strange over A.D. Mitchell? That's a tougher question. For the moment, I'm going to say go Brenton Strange. I think he's safest of the 3. But tomorrow, maybe drop a comment on the rankings videos and I'll answer it again with more information. At the moment, I'm leaning Strange over Ferguson. Barry Wallace says, was going to go with Tesla over Gainwell tonight. With a win, I'm in. With a loss, I'm out. But with St. Brown playing, do I go with Gainwell? I also have Warren in my lineup. Is it crazy to start both? If you have Warren, I don't think I would go Gainwell also. That, I think, is a recipe for disaster. That, I don't think will pay off. I thought they would both be good flex plays last week, and it didn't work out. I know it's worked out at times, but against the Ravens, it's not a good matchup. That game's going to be low scoring. I wouldn't trust both to score a touchdown, and I would not trust either to even go over like 70 yards total. So I would not start both Gainwell and Warren. Question is, are you starting Tesla over Gainwell? Personally, I think I would do that, but I think you can probably still get a better option off the wire. I think I might rather go like Greg Dortch than Tesla, knowing Harrison might not play, but Tesla for a touchdown, damn. Okay, so here are my receiver rankings. Let me pull those up. The Tesla questions. I wish I didn't feel so confident about him to start the video because I want to say yes to all your questions, but it feels so risky. And I haven't updated these, so the ranking on Tesla is inaccurate. Tesla really drops down like 2 full tiers. Tesla goes in the same range as A.D. Mitchell, Godwin, Metcalf. I think I'd rather go Debo at this point than Tesla. But would I rather go Mechie than Tesla? That I'm not so sure. Tesla is in the same range as Godwin and Metcalf, somewhere around there. He's top 40. He's fine. He's a solid flex play. Yeah, I think I would do that. I'd go Tesla over Gainwell. I think I would. Why do I think Benson is coming back? I haven't checked the practice reports today, but he's been limited in practice for like 2 straight weeks. Did something happen? Oh, he did not practice Thursday. Oh, okay. That's weird. Yeah, okay. I guess I'm wrong on that. So your original question then was, I'm looking for the Bam Knight question. Please drop the Bam Knight question one more time. I can't find it. But Bam Knight would come in around Tyler Warren, Jalen Warren as well. Like he'd be around Aaron Jones, Tyjae Spears, Tony Pollard. He'd be around like running back 26, 27, top 30, but just barely better than guys like Algier and Blake Corum, Devin Neal. Like not a great option against the Rams. It's a bad matchup. He's a low-end flex option if Bam Knight gets the start. I now that I'm looking into it deeper, thanks for questioning me on it. Yeah, Benson probably does not play. More likely than not, he does not suit up. Jaden Kramer says Mike Evans or Goddard at the flex in full PPR. We're going to go... I mean, if he plays, I'd go Evans, but is Evans going to play? I don't know if I'd bet on Evans coming back this week. That feels unlikely. Limited last week, yesterday, as well as today. But if you followed the Bucks practice trends with guys like Godwin, guys like Tristan Wirfs, guys like Bucky Irving, they'll be limited in practice for a couple weeks before they play. They will return to practice, and that doesn't signal that they're going to play the same week. So we'll know for sure on Saturday if Evans is activated off IR, but at the moment I wouldn't bet on it. But Goddard plays Monday, so you'll at least have that as a backstop option. For the moment, I'm going to say Goddard, but obviously if Evans is active, I'd rather go Evans. Safer with a receiver than tight end. But Sounds by Mega says, thank you. I've been dealing with who to play out of Stafford and Hurts all season. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, that's a good problem to have. Very rarely are you getting burned with either of them. But I think this week I'd rather go Stafford with a bounce back against a division rival. They own the Cardinals. He'll play great. And then against the Chargers, for whatever reason, the Eagles' offense is just not looking right. Oh, shit. Sorry. Forgot that was up. Yeah. Eagles have a bad matchup this week, and their offense also is in a slump. So I would go Stafford, but it is close. I still expect Hurts to run a lot this week. But Jaden says, also, you the man, love how chill your rankings videos are, and all the videos for that matter. Easily my favorite fantasy channel. Yo, thanks a lot, man. That's very kind for you to say. I appreciate that a lot. Glad to hear you're enjoying it. But Barry Wallace says, gotcha, thanks, dude. Mitchell? I do like AD Mitchell a lot. I think AD Mitchell is probably getting more volume than Tesla this week. Do I still think Tesla scores a touchdown? Yeah, but will he go over 10 points? Probably not. Like, okay, let me pull up my teams. Let me set my lineup. Let me pull this up. Okay. This is the team I have in the Blunt League, and I have already clinched. This team is locked into either the 3, the 4, the 5, or the 6 seed. I will not miss the playoffs. I will not get a playoff bye. I'm 8-5, and then I have 3 teams above me at 9-4 that all have way more points than I do. So there's just no chance I find myself as the 2 seed, even if I win this week. So best I can do is the 3 seed. And for that reason, I'm starting Tesla tonight. I don't care. I'm committed. I'm going with Tesla. I don't give a shit. Look at my bench. I have the Packers. I have Tyjae Spears. I have Jaden Higgins. I maybe should go Jaden Higgins over Tesla, but I really want him on one of my teams, and I'm going to pull the ripcord on this one. The other team, though, I think I'm going to take Tesla out of the lineup. The other team is full PPR. I am playing someone for the bye. Literally, my matchup, we are both 9-4. I'm in third. He's in second. And because we play each other, we are going to be locked into the 2 seed, whoever wins. So right now, I've got Drake May on bye. That's not ideal. I have London on IR. That's not good. So I do have Tesla in the starting lineup, but am I keeping him there? Let me double check. I don't think I will. I doubt it. So I got Herbert because I have May on bye. I don't think I'm going to feel desperate enough to pick up Trey Lance, but I'm thinking about it. RJ Harvey, Quinshon Judkins, CeeDee Lamb, those are all locks. Given my running back room, those running backs have to be in. Tesla, I probably bench. I got McBride, I got Charbonnet, I got Jaden Higgins. This one has a second flex spot, so this one I at least can put Higgins in and not bench Tesla. But look at my bench. Am I putting in Mechie over him? That like I said, I don't think I'm willing to do that. That I think is so close. It's pretty even between the two. I'll just stick with the better matchup. Am I going Vidal over him in the flex? Like, yeah, I'd definitely rather do that. But do I know if Hampton will play or if Vidal will get the start? I think Hampton will suit up. I think it's trending in that direction. So that I don't think will work out for me, running back versus receiver. If anything, I'd bench Charbonnet for Vidal. So now I just have to look to the waiver wire. Are there any receivers that I like more? This week, I'm not in love with Josh Downs. Not going to lie, not in love with Downs this week. But Greg Dortch could be valuable. I could see Jaden Reed play well, but there's not that many options on the wire that I'm really over the moon about. For the Jets, I think A.D. Mitchell got picked up. Yeah, he did. So I can't go A.D. Mitchell. I think I would go A.D. Mitchell over Tesla. But then for Tampa Bay, am I going to go Godwin over Tesla? He's already scooped up. Yeah, so to me, it's between Greg Dortch, who's questionable, not practicing, so fuck that. Oh, whoops. Harrison, I don't think will play. But Dortch isn't practicing either, so we're not going to go Greg Dortch. That's for sure. And then it's going to be John Mechie versus Isaac Tesla. So the decision is already on my roster. There is no one I think I can pick up in this league that is better than Isaac Tesla at receiver. Everybody else is going to be lower ranked in my rankings, other than maybe Jaden Reed. I have London on IR. I don't think London will play. I'm going to say fuck it. I'm going to start Tesla. Call me insane. I'm going to do it. Because I think he gets the touchdown. But this could blow up in my face. This could be a bad call. Are there any tight ends I'd rather go with? Okay, that's the big question. Are there any tight ends I would rather start? Because that is likely probably a safer way to go. Actually, yeah, I think I'd rather go with Strange or Ertz than Tesla. They're projecting Juwan to be higher. I literally dropped Juwan. He was on my team earlier, so I could go back to that well. But I don't like his matchup this week. I think I'm going to go Strange. Yeah, I think I'm dropping Tesla in this league. This one, I have no room for error. Colts matchup is pretty good. Colts have allowed at least like 50 yards in every game to tight ends. Holy shit. A big stretch of touchdowns as well. Have they played the Jags this year? No, not yet. So no stats yet. Let me do one quick thing. We're going to go to Pro Football Reference. And we're going to check out Brenton Strange. And this is a little behind the curtain when I need to make a tie-breaking decision. We're going to look at career stats on Strange. He played the Colts Week 18. He played the Colts again in this game. In both, he has 4 receptions, 60 yards in one, 24 and a touchdown in the other. And then he also played them his rookie year at 27 yards and a touchdown. I'm going Brenton Strange. Oh, yeah. 2 touchdowns for Strange in his last 3 against the Colts. I'm taking Strange over Tesla. So let's do it in the moment. We're going to drop Isaac Tesla on this team. I have no room for error on this one, so we're not going to have fun. We're going to stay serious, all business. And we are picking up Brenton Strange, dropping Tesla. That is the move. And now I'm sliding in Higgins to receiver. And at the moment, I would go Strange. I'd rather go double tight end than have Tesla instead. That is my move. That is what I'm going to do. So if any of you have that available choice, if you can slot in someone like Brenton Strange over Tesla, I would do that. I would also slot in Zach Ertz for Tesla. Let me look at some other tight ends that are maybe available in yours. They're at least available in this league. Oh, no. I want available tight ends. We have Zach Ertz at 62%, probably not available. Juwan at 57. He's probably okay. Rest of season, I'd like to have Theo Johnson, but this week is on bye. And then I also think I might go Darren Waller, but at that point, I'm thinking I'm pushing it. I might just stick with Isaac Tesla, but Tesla is a touchdown maker, so is Darren Waller. That's where, like, do whatever you want when it comes to Darren Waller versus Tesla. But that's how I see it. All right. Glad I made that choice, and glad I have a team where I can still start him. Like that's just one team, and that one, a lot of shit is important. So on this one, I can just have fun. I'm 100% going Tesla on this one. I'm not going to drop Tesla in this league. I'm having fun, baby. We got Jaden Reed on the IR, so Tesla would be my drop candidate next week. And literally, the only thing I can do is play spoiler to Angus. I am playing against Angus this week, but I'm already projected to lose by like 15 points. Oh, now it's down to 25. Yeah, I'm behind the eight ball. I got some key players on bye and inactive. Henderson is on bye, Kittle on bye, Drake May on bye. My team is definitely not at full strength in this one. So, all right. That was fun. Setting the lineup. Strange over Tesla. Definitely where I would go. Okay. Whoops. This is how early I lose fucking daylight. It's only 4:30 p.m. and I lose daylight. It's a bummer. But let me get back to your questions. Barry says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Hall, I apologize if you've been waiting like 30 minutes. I don't think it's that long, but I feel like right when you drop this comment, I just set my lineup. So apologies on that. Pittman, Debo, or Christian Watson? This week, good question. I think I'm going to go Pittman. I still trust Pittman. The thing about Christian Watson against Jalen Johnson this week, that game is really cold. And although I like the Toyotathon vibes of Jordan Love right now, I could see Watson crush. I also think that matchup is scary, and I could also see it burn you. So I think I'm going to go Pittman. The touchdown for Pittman is usually very safe to bet on, and the Jag secondary is not one I fear. So I like Pittman a lot this week. I have him top 15. I would go Pittman over Watson, but they're pretty close. They're about 5 spots between each other. I have Watson at number 19, and then I have Pittman at 14. So very close, but I'm going to bench Debo for sure between the three. Bam or Tesla? We're going Bam over Tesla. Sorry for the wait. Appreciate you for dropping the comment. And if you are still here, thank you for the patience. I'm going to go Bam over Tesla. Foreign Barber says, is Devontae Smith startable compared to McLaurin or Pierce? If I have Terry McLaurin, I'm going to go Terry. I actually, for the moment, also have Devontae ranked 2 spots behind Alec Pierce. I'm worried about the matchup. It's very tough, actually, against the Chargers this season. And the Eagles are in a slump, not looking too good. I would go Terry McLaurin over Devontae, as well as Alec Pierce. At the moment, I prefer Pierce over Devontae Smith. I'm going to try and get this in one take. Vasilius Dokuslus. Tesla with Amon-Ra in, or Bam or Rodriguez? We're going to go Bam Knight. Now that Amon-Ra is active, we're going to go Bam Knight in full PPR. I'm going to trust that Trey Benson will not play. It looks like Benson's not coming back. Sadly, not practicing this week. Brad Bell, thank you very much, my friend. Just want to say thanks for all your videos and advice. Keep it up, man. You got it, bro. Appreciate your nice compliment. Thank you. Well, I guess thanks for saying, thank you for saying thanks. Thanks for the gratitude. Kyron was limited practice again today. Not ideal, but at this stage in the year, everyone's banged up, man. Everyone's kind of banged up, but maybe that does help Corum's argument a little bit extra. That is probably relevant for him. But ETW Burns says McLaurin, Swift, Godwin, or Evans if he plays at PPR in the flex. Full PPR, I think I'm going to go Terry McLaurin. Terry looked good last week. He looks healthy. If Jaden Daniels plays, then I do like Jaden Daniels helping him out. I'm going to go Terry because it's full PPR. I don't love the matchup against Green Bay for Swift, but it feels hard to bench Swift. Not going to lie, this could be the wrong call. But in full PPR, I'll go with McLaurin. Actually, Swift still catches passes. Last week though, Ben Johnson just ran it like 40 fucking times. Shit. Check back in the comments tomorrow when I do the rankings, but at the moment I'm leaning Terry because I'm assuming that Jaden Daniels will play, and then I'm also like a little bit worried about the Packers matchup. But the Vikings matchup's not great either. So PPR is really the only deciding factor. It's a very, very close decision. And in full PPR, my tiebreaker is always wide receiver. That's my decision, but it's super close. Kanan says, who do I play this week? Judkins or JMO? JMO, 100%. Barry Wallace says, same here. The waiver wire in my league is complete shit. Tight end, maybe the way I got to go. Good call. Yeah, compared to Tesla, like I was so hyped on Tesla, expecting Amon-Ra to play. And that, I want the playoff bye. I do not want to have to sweat it out and lose in week 14. If I can advance to week 16 with a win, I don't want to fuck around. I feel like I can trust Brenton Strange, especially in full PPR. You need volume. Where I'm starting him in the subscriber league, it's half PPR, and that I think is a big factor there. I trust Brenton Strange in a much better matchup for tight ends than most others this week, and compared to Tesla, now that St. Brown is active, I think he'll get more volume. So tight end over Tesla, depending on who it is. My preference would be like Dalton Kincaid or Brenton Strange. Hall says, sweet, I'm going to play JMO and Pittman. Good luck, man. Good luck on that. I think that's a good move. Yeah, over Debo and Watson, I think so. Let's avoid Jalen Johnson. I could see Watson really play well, but I trust Pittman enough to think that's the safer play. Anthony Perkinson's, do I start Tesla, Kyle Pitts, or Bam Knight in standard? Ooh, in standard. Now here, in standard, now Tesla is way more compelling. You know, because in standard, you need a touchdown. In standard, who the fuck cares how many catches? It's about touchdowns. Against Dallas, fuck. I'm going to say Tesla here, bro. In standard, we're rocking Tesla. Tesla's a good flex play tonight, especially in standard. Pitts still scares me. I like Pitts this week, but not as much as Strange. And in standard, then all the receptions for Pitts don't factor in. Pitts doesn't score touchdowns. So you can still have a great game from Pitts and get more points off Tesla on just one catch. Bam Knight, though, against the Rams, very unlikely to score touchdowns against the Rams. His catches don't factor in. So it'll be yards versus Tesla's touchdown. I'm going to go Tesla in standard. I talked myself into it. I'm going to trust the touch. I still believe in the touchdown for Tesla tonight. So give me Tesla. Jaden Kramer says, thanks. Hope you have a good stream. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks. Thank you, Jaden. We're almost closing it out on the stream, but thanks for chilling. Good luck this week. Hope you get the win. Mechie, Tesla, or Vele? Pick one. Actually, Vele is actually a player I totally forgot. Almost forgot Vele. I'm going to go Vele. Shit. Okay. I might be dropping Strange for Vele, but at least he's not playing Thursday. I have some time to think about that. But in a full PPR league, I think I'd rather go Vele. Then Mechie and Tesla for sure. Go Vele. Vasilius Dekuslis, nice job on the name. Bam versus Rams is tough. I'm surprised you wouldn't take that shot with Tesla instead. The volume is just so hard to trust on Tesla. Like, I want to, man. Like, I really do. But if Benson's not going to play, I have to reevaluate my take on Bam. And it's not going to be an elite game, but I could still see both of them score a touchdown, and then yardage, I think, would favor Bam Knight. Volume is definitely safer for Bam than Tesla. So that's where, like, from a safety net standpoint. But if you want to take the swing, be my guest. I don't want to completely shoot it down, but it's riskier. That's my take. It's riskier. So what would I do? I'd probably avoid some risk depending on my situation. OC Boss Hog, I have both Amon Ra and JMO. Should I start JMO even though Amon Ra is going to play? Yes. JMO's going off tonight. JMO is not going to be a decoy. If anything, there's a question on Amon Ra. Like, you still have to start him, but that's, I think, where the real question is. I'm definitely starting JMO tonight. Can't bench him. Just can't. Burrow or Goff. Now that Amon Ra's active, I think I might go Goff because there's also weather in Buffalo that factors in. This game is in a dome, so no worries there. The Cowboys are by far the best matchup. The Bills are actually a difficult matchup for quarterbacks this year. And we did just see the Bengals kick a ton of field goals last week. I could see something similar potentially in this week's game, but I love both. I think I'm going to go with Goff now that I know Amon Ra is playing. So I showed you all my ranks on quarterback earlier on. I'll flash them one more time real quick, but I would adjust it. I would put Goff at number 2. I think Goff is going to be maybe better than Dak. I think Goff moves above Burrow. I just really trust Goff. Anthony Perkins, I have Odunze and London for receivers, scrambling for a wide receiver on the wire. Good luck on that. Odunze scares the shit out of me, bro. Odunze's so risky. London, I don't think will play this week. But Eagle Talks Football, or Egal, Tesla, Vele, or Mechie. I think someone just asked a very similar question, and I think we are Oh, it was you. It was you. I think we're gonna go with Vele from a safety net standpoint. I think Vele gets a decent matchup this week. Let me confirm that. Yes, he does. Bucks are actually an elite matchup. In the last month, they've been a top 3 spot. I would go Vele. I think that's safer. I might be dropping Strange after I end the stream for Vele. Potentially. Not totally sure. Julio, my whole season has been choosing between Kyron and Javonte as my RB2. And every time I make the wrong decision, both these guys disappoint. I go Kyron this week. I don't like the matchup for Javonte as much. I go Kyron. But yeah, touchdowns are what will decide it. Good luck there, man. All right, I've finally caught up. Holy shit. I took way longer than I thought. I'm going to remind y'all our entry tonight. Our underdog pick. And then the screen is pretty orange because of the lighting now. So, so this is our entry tonight. If we hit on all 5, we will get 118. And if y'all want a deal before it goes away, y'all can play 5 and get $100 in bonus funds using code BLUNT. Ooh, that's weird. Here we go. Promo code BLUNT gets you $100 in bonus funds. Only until the end of the weekend. Only for a few more days. On Monday, that deal goes away. It drops to get $75 in bonus funds. So get it while you can. And this is how I would play that first $5. Tesla touchdown. We still believe in Tesla for a touchdown. Lamb, I think will score a touchdown. As always, I'm trusting Lamb. I also believe Pickens will score a touchdown. I think JMO is not a decoy and will give you a big house call touchdown. I think he gets at least 100 yards tonight on like 8+ catches. Brandon Aubrey, I think, also scores 3 extra points. If the Pickens and Lamb touchdowns hit, then all you need is one more, and I think that is automatic. By correlation, I love the Aubrey paired with Pickens and Lamb. So this is my lineup tonight. $5 down, we hit the 40% profit boost token. And if we are correct on all 5, our payout is 118. Some of that is bonus cash, but still a pretty solid return on investment. So good luck to you if you are going to join me. Use promo code BLUNT. I believe the link is in the description to sign up. But if there's a chance for me to still draft the team, there is not. I really wanted to get in on one of those best ball lineups, but I missed the boat. We cannot do that. They're all full. They've all closed. Close enough to kick off where they're not live anymore. So sadly, I can't do that for y'all. That would have been fun. But do you think it's safe to say we can drop Vidal? Also, do you think Hampton will play? I do think Hampton will play, but at the moment, it's too soon to know for sure. And at the moment, I do think you have to hold on to Vidal. At the moment, I don't think I can drop Kimani Vidal. I understand the desire to, the inclination, but I don't think I can do that. Not until Hampton comes off of IR would I do that. Hall, Corum, or Rodriguez. This week we're going to go Blake Corum. Matchup's pretty good. Kyron a little banged up. I don't know if he's going to be completely demolishing Kyron's value. I wouldn't bet on that, but I still think I liked what I saw enough from Corum last week to see some upside. But Christian Rodriguez is just a touchdown maker, not much else. That could lead to a better outcome, but I don't think I would bet on it. I think I would go Blake Corum. Probably more touches for Blake Corum, but not by much. I have them very close. I have them within like 4 spots of each other, but I do have Corum ranked higher as of today. But I'll have my final ranks tomorrow, so check out for that. And then OC Boss, appreciate the help. You're welcome, bro. Anytime. Brad Bell says, would you go Christian Watson or Michael Wilson this week as wide receiver, half PPR? Assuming Harrison doesn't play, I'm going to go Michael Wilson. I don't think Harrison will play. He hasn't practiced, and I think he'll miss at least 1 game with the heel injury. So I would go Michael Wilson. I don't like the matchup as much for Christian Watson. Give me Michael Wilson over Watson. But I think at this point, I'm going to log off. We're going to hit the pipe one last time. But if you have any remaining questions, let me know. Let me know down below. Okay. Would you start Eagles defense this week? No, I don't think I would anymore. I was going to, and then I saw the news on Jalen Carter, and even though Herbert's got the hand injury, it's not his throwing hand. I think he'll be okay, and I don't like what I've seen from the Eagles defense without Carter this year. It's been rough when he's not been there, so I don't think I would. As long as Carter is inactive, I think that really moves the needle enough not to trust him. Also, what's going to happen with the Giants running back situation? I assume Tracy will not be active when he comes back from the bye week. So if you can still get Devin Singletary, absolutely pick him up. Going to be a workhorse, most likely. I think they'll factor in Eric Gray Eric Gray. I believe that's his name. The 4th string running back. But they don't have Scadaboo. They don't have Tracy. He was carted off the field. So I don't expect Tracy to come back. Devin Singletary, going to get a lot of work. I would trust Singletary. No one else. But I think we might say good evening. I think that's going to be it. We've been live streaming since 3 p.m., so almost 2 hours now. And we've answered everyone's question. I wish I could have done one of those drafts, but I forgot about it. This is a good game to do that, but a lot of different combos you can get that are kind of obvious, and maybe it wasn't worth it. I have my wager. That's all I need. I don't need to wager too much money on every single game. Sometimes it's good to just watch sports and enjoy it for what it is. So that's going to be it. That is it. Reminder, promo code BLUNT gets you $100 in bonus funds once you play 5. And link is in the description. I'll see y'all tomorrow, maybe early morning with some new content. And that's going to be it for me. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye.